It is time now for another edition of Todd's Odds with our sports betting expert, Todd Fuhrman. And Todd, I have it on very good authority that last week you spoke with Jay about Stanley Cup picks, and the Oilers were on your list from the preseason. You still like them to come out of the West. But Todd, there is another team that you would now like to add, and I am told this one comes from the Eastern Conference.
Well, you mentioned Jennifer, and before we get into that, let me say how nice it is to actually work with a consummate professional during this segment and a real live broadcaster instead of someone that masquerades as one like our friend Jay. But in terms of the Eastern Conference pecking order, we know who the favorites are in the Carolina Hurricanes and the Florida Panthers that'll look to defend. But I think you have an opportunity to find a little bit of upside if you go further down the list. And of course, we're going to want to monitor the trade wire to see if they're able to bolster their roster. And that's staying in the Sunshine State with the Tampa Bay Lightning. I absolutely love the form that we have seen from Andrei Vasilevsky. I think having that Four Nations break for him and Nikita Kucherov will pay dividends down the stretch. And while I don't think Tampa on paper is as good as the aforementioned favorites, it's a team that's got that playoff pedigree. We know that John Cooper can pull the right strings. And we saw a phenomenal game earlier tonight that as hockey fans, we should all be hoping that we get a best-of-7 series between the Florida Panthers and Tampa Bay Lightning again this spring.
It's so crazy, man. They let go of Steven Stamkos, and everyone thought they were crazy, and then they're great. Let's talk about some NHL awards. Tightest race right now is for the Hart Trophy. You've got Leon Draisaitl as the favorite. He leads the league in goals. Right behind him, a goalie, Connor Hellebuck. Will they give the Hart to a goalie this year? He's obviously the runaway favorite for the Vezina. But third place is Nathan MacKinnon, who's leading the league in points. He's got the third best odds. How do you see this race playing out?
I mean, for me, I would probably lose my membership in the goalie union, albeit I'm an extremely low-level apprentice more than anything else. If I didn't make a case for Connor Hellebuck having a chance to be the first goalie to pull off the double since Carey Price accomplished the feat, winning the Vezina and winning the Hart back in 2014, 2015. We know it is an elite list of goaltenders that have been able to accomplish this. And you look at what Connor Hellebuck has been able to do. Just 7 losses in regulation. He has provided the backbone of this Jets team, who has an inside track to take home the President's Trophy. And when you look at the other scores, it's no disrespect meant to Leon Draisaitl or Nathan MacKinnon, but I think it's hard to ignore the numbers that we're seeing from Connor Hellebuck down the stretch. And this is the guy that I think is a worthy bet to win the Hart Trophy to accomplish a little bit of history.
Todd, I would like you to bring your attention, please, to the board we're going to show you. These are the current odds for the Calder Trophy. Macklin Celebrini, the favorite. Habs D-man Lane Hudson, Flyers forward Matvei Michkov trailing him. But Todd, you mentioned your goalie roots. I know that goalies like to pump the tires of other goalies. I want to ask you about Dustin Wolf. All right, Dustin Wolf, top 10 in save percentage. He has the Calgary Flames in the thick of a playoff race. Why isn't Wolf getting any more love? And do you see some value in Wolf for this award?
And this is a Calgary team coming into the year that I thought could contend with the Sharks and the Blackhawks for one of the worst records in the league. But Dustin Wolf has no doubt emerged as the true #1 in Calgary. And we saw it in limited stints last year, what we thought he was capable of, but just didn't look ready to step up. Well, he's now banished all concerns and questions that organization has. But the problem with this award, it's just so difficult for a goalie to really throw his hat in the ring, even when you look at Dustin Wolf's stat line. Now, if Calgary is able to secure one of those wild card spots and get themselves into the playoffs, I really think it changes his candidacy, especially when you're looking at a Macklin Celebrini, who's an overwhelming favorite for a Sharks team that's not going anywhere. Matvei Michkov has really come on since the Four Nations break, and Lane Hudson seems to accumulate assists like they're going out of style on that back end for Montreal. I just can't quite get there with Dustin Wolf at 25-1. But you know, Jennifer, I would love nothing more for him to sneak into this mix and show those forwards and D-men exactly what it takes to play between the pipes at such a high level.
I'm sure the Flames fans would as well. Calgary still with 22 games remaining, so Wolf does have plenty more time to make his case. Todd, I will send your effusive praise along to Onrait. Thank you for this.
Hey, I appreciate that. If we can keep Jay grounded at Disneyland, it's a win not only for us doing this segment, for everybody across Canada.